Hello. So it's been 1 year since I started my self-hosting journey. I bought my server on April 3, and today is the end of March. So it's exactly 12 months. And it was hell of a journey, I tell you. In this video, I want to share my insights on my self-hosting journey, um, what I did, what mistakes I made, what worked, what didn't, and how can you set up a self-hosting um, yourself. There are a few softwares which I found really useful, and there are a few softwares which failed. I also had a hacking incident. My server was hacked 3 times for the same reason, till I found the reason and deleted it. So we're going to talk about that as well. Um, Regarding my motivation to buy the server. So I was making, I think it was my personal website, and it was also self-degree, and I needed to deploy it. And I was using Vercel. And Vercel is a great deployment tool, except you need to pay per project, and you cannot deploy private repositories in free plan. That didn't make much sense to me because my projects are small. Like that's a React application that is barely consuming any resources and any traffic. Like not much people are visiting my personal website. And I pay for that as a price of a decent server. And I thought, well, why don't I just buy my own server and deploy whatever I need there? And I have some DevOps background, so I know how to set it up. I know I wouldn't fuck up too much. So things just aligned, and I was like, well, we are buying it. Now, this server is like my second home. Like I'm a digital nomad, I'm traveling a lot. It's hard for me to feel like there is a place that I can collect things. Like, when you have house, it's something you can constantly develop. Like you are making it better and better every year, buying some new things, improving it. I was lacking it into my life because everything I have is temporary. So this server is giving me that ability. It's like my virtual home that I can improve every month, and it's becoming better and better. To start, I want to share the biggest and most important piece of software I have on my machine. Um, my machine is basically, well, I accessed it via SSH initially, and I installed just one software directly on machine, and it is a Coolify. Coolify is very cool software, uh, based by name, actually, really cool, um, which is like an alternative for Vercel. I would even call it alternative for AWS, like whatever hosting you use, you can do it with Coolify, and you can do it in a quite user-friendly way, I would say. Um, Installation is quite simple. You can run Coolify on single machine, or you can connect multiple servers to it to create like more distributed platform. You can connect it to GitHub and create CI/CD. So I push something on GitHub, it instantly gets deployed to production. Um, you can connect domains. You can make backups here. You can have teams. It's just so powerful. And it's also open source. So if you don't like something, you can go onto GitHub and modify it. Let me just guide you through my Coolify a bit. So I have 4 main projects. First one is, I guess, let's start from EF Private. It's my private websites, open source tools, whatever I use just for myself. And I separated a bit other projects because they include multiple resources and it was easier to manage it. So a project includes resources, project includes environment includes resources. For example, I have a self-degree deployed on my server, If I open it, I have a production environment and staging environment. If I go to production, here I have my database and 3 applications, which is backend, platform itself, and Next.js landing with thousands of pages. Same, I'm not sure if my staging is configured. Yeah, staging is having only database. I connect to it locally. And I don't use environment in any other projects, just self-degree because it needed staging. We have date, where we have similar 3 applications set up. We have Clo, which is my OpenClo managed environment. So OpenClo is having a skill for Coolify, and Coolify is having CLI. So you can let OpenClo deploy applications on your Coolify by you just saying, hey, go and deploy this open source project for me. Another powerful thing of why I, first of all, deployed OpenCloud to Coolify, and second, gave access to Coolify to my OpenCloud, because now my OpenCloud can self-replicate. It can deploy another clone of himself with another configurations and make it run and do some other things. We'll talk about this later. But I just have one server. I have a few projects, and we can check what project looks like. So if we check, let's say something less, say platform. So here we can configure a domain. We have access to like internals if we want to change Docker Compose or Docker. The deployment is usually going through Docker Compose or Docker. Let me just show you. So we click New. And here you can select if you want to clone public repository, private, Docker, Docker Compose, Docker image. And there is also a library of things that you can host by just clicking one button. It's a huge library. I think 80% of whatever I host is actually inside of this library. Like I didn't have to configure anything myself, like include link to private GitHub repo or something. I just clicked a button here and it got deployed. So that's cool. If we select, say, private repository, we can have different connectors. So say this one, this is my private GitHub account. I choose a repository. I don't know if that's, that will do, yes. And there are a few options for deployment. It's Nixbox, static, Dockerfile, and Docker Compose. I usually use Dockerfile and Docker Compose, and I suggest you to do same. It's quite convenient. So, I think that's it about Coolify. Now let's talk a bit about what I host. And I want to share with you top 10 things that I host here. So I'm going to separate it into open source projects that I host, that I just took and hosted, and into my projects. So my projects are a bit separate because, well, I wrote them, so I can't, like, obviously I need them. So I can't rank them by usefulness, and it wouldn't give any value to you. But open source projects, I can rank them. So we start from the least important to the more important. But while recording a top, I realized that a video is becoming ridiculously long. So we're going to talk about my top in a separate video. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe, put a like, and I will see you in a separate video where we talk about best self-hosted services I use. So I see you later.